Hi guys, and thanks for watching our weather update on February 18th, 2023. So, as usual, miles on weathercentral.d for the next 2 weeks or so. GFS goes out to about 384 hours, which goes into early March, so that'll be interesting. And the GFS is actually showing signs of playing around with the SSW. We nearly get a hit of extreme cold, but unfortunately it sort of goes off into the Atlantic and we go a bit milder, but it's playing with the idea of a reaction from the SSW. So I'm gonna get straight into it with the GFS 12Z, and you're gonna see how it plays with it in a minute. Okay, so starting off today, Saturday, February 18th at 12 p.m. Mainly dry and mild with high pressure to the south, low pressure to the north with westerly winds. Flat as a pancake off the Atlantic. Look at that, just flat westerly winds. Upper temperatures are mild. Then as we push through to tomorrow and Monday, the high pressure tries to come northwards, but doesn't really succeed in doing so. So we stay mild and westerly, although dry. And then we go into Tuesday and Wednesday, and we bring a wind from the northwest. So some wintry showers with that, mainly over high ground, but some wintriness down to low levels as well. Quite a cool air mass. And that pushes through, and we get an area of high pressure over us for Friday and next weekend. So frost and fog by night, hopefully quite nice and bright by day, and getting up to around the high single figures or 10 or 11 degrees. So it'll be quite nice. Then into Monday, February 27th, an easterly wind strengthens off the south coast especially, but also over Ireland. Upper temperatures are cold, with a -5 Celsius ice storm engulfing the country, with a -10 Celsius ice storm coming into England on next Tuesday. As we continue, we keep the easterly winds going a bit more southeasterly then into March, but still cold with the upper temperatures looking really quite cold. And then we push through, and you can see this high pressure retrogressing towards Greenland is when you bring pressure from east to west, in contrast to the zonal west to east flow. So high pressure retrogressing from Scandinavia to Greenland, and we pull down a northerly winds, a northeasterly wind even, and that does it colder. -10 Celsius ice storm into Scotland, -5 into the Celtic Sea. But look at this, we get a very, very severe pool of cold air north of Iceland. And this looks like it's going to come our way, doesn't it? Look at that, it looks perfectly set up. But the lows in the Atlantic are just a bit too deep. And watch what happens, right? It floods out of Iceland. Look at that. Really ridiculously cold air. Perilously close to Scotland. And it manages to reach Scotland, just about. But watch the way it's going. It's veering off to the west. No, yeah, to the west. You see that simply because the low in the Atlantic is too strong, and it's pushing its warm air up from the southwest, quite close to Ireland at this stage, in the Celtic Sea. So if we look at the pressure pattern, yeah, it was also set up, but just simply the lower in the Atlantic is just a bit too deep, and the cold pool floods into the Atlantic instead. I'm going to pause it there on Sunday, March 5th. Look at that. We get cold, but not as cold as we could have gotten it. As we could have got it simply because of this low pressure is too strong to allow the cold air but southwest. But look at that intense cold pool way out into the Atlantic there. It's really bitterly cold. And actually, on this GFS run, we do get quite cold, but not as cold as we would have said. And we end up like this, bringing snow up from the south on Monday, March 6th. Of course, don't take it seriously. It's 2 weeks away. It's going to change. It's definitely going to change. But look at how bitterly cold the air mass in the Atlantic is. Look at that, -10 Celsius. -10 Celsius ice storm has made it across the Atlantic from, like, north of Iceland. So Really, if that low just sink further southwards, we'd be engulfed in that bitterly, truly bitterly cold air, and that would be a freeze up. Really, really, really cold. But just unfortunately, the low is a bit too far north. Look at that. The whole of Ireland is engulfed in the 0 Celsius ice dome, bar the far north of Northern Ireland. And the -10 Celsius ice dome has retreated towards, like, Torshavn, Faroe Islands, and Shetland. So yeah, a near miss of bitterly, bitterly cold weather on that GFS run. I was quite surprised to see that today on the output, but it just shows the potential that's there after this SSW. I will have it. Honestly, I had a video about that, so please do watch that if you're interested. ECMWF run. Again, high pressure coming up from the south, mild and cloudy and breezy. Before next week, we open the doors to some cooler air from the north. This is just natural sort of weather that happens. I don't think it's related to the warming. And then off we go into next weekend with high pressure right over us. Quite nice weekend. Before again at the end of the ECM run, look at that. We go easterly with cold air coming from the east. Not bitterly cold air. We only get the -5 line into the south. Not really anything cold over Europe. You'd have to go way over here, over Siberia, probably to get anything cold. Over Greenland. The GEM run looks like this, so high pressure moving up from the south over the weekend, and it keeps things dry, breezy, and mild. It's been very mild actually over parts of England with highs of like 15 degrees, spring-like even, just like balmy for February. Anyway, going to Wednesday, we get a northerly wind, relief from the mild weather. For me, anyway, it's relief because mild weather just doesn't sit well with me. So it's much chilliness to be felt on Wednesday. Then we go on into Thursday and Friday. High pressure ridges in from the Atlantic. This is a colder high, so that will be frost and fog and sunshine by day, as I said. But then at the end of the GM, we put in an easterly or a southeasterly. But the high pressure is located in the North Sea, and we're pushing in the wind from the Balkans and the Mediterranean instead. So this means that the upper air temperatures are mild. So you can see the +5 Celsius ice slab coming in from the continent. But as it is a continental flow, and skies are quite clear coming in from the east, we probably still get cold from frost and fog, and then we end up with the high pressure sitting over us into our east with mild air around it. So quite spring-like with that by day, frost and fog by night. If the skies are clear, which I think they are for the north, but not really in the south. UK Met run, fourth run of the evening, as usual. High pressure to our south, quite close by, dry and mild, breezy. And then we push into next week. Again, we get the cold snap from the north. Not bitterly cold, just a little cold snap, some wintry showers. High pressure toppling in off the Atlantic next weekend to bring a nice weekend of frost and fog and sunshine. Then the Icon run. Same old really. I'm going to whiz through this. Cooler by Wednesday. High pressure looks like it's actually toppling off the Atlantic by Thursday. Upper air temperatures by then are quite cold with the -12 Celsius ice therm coming in from the north. Then finally the arpege run. Again, looks very similar. I'm just going to skim through this. Colder by midweek, and again high pressure looks like it's toppling in off the Atlantic. Oh wait, actually, I just realised something. I don't know if you saw this earlier, but it looks like I got 2 arpèges up. So I'm going to fix this right now. It's a little fail, Anyway, I was wondering why the icon, in inverted commas, only went out to 180 hours, because normally it's... Sorry, I was wondering why it was only at 214 hours, as the icon gets out to 180 hours. I was like, that's weird, maybe it hasn't fully updated or something, there was an error. But it was my error. Yes, I got 2 arpèges up. Well then, now I can look at the icon. We've covered the arpège twice. Lovely. Sorry about that, guys. Then we push through into the weekends. Southwesterly winds. I'm just gonna skim through this. Winds in from the northwest next week. It's taking a bit while to load. And I just push into the weekend. Again, lovely high pressure right over the country. Let's look at how cloudy we are on this high pressure. Okay, we've got fair weather. Temperatures, yeah, quite cold. So frosty nights and sunny days. Lovely. My favourites. One of my favourites. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, apart from that little failure. So in conclusion, really, we're looking at a drier mild few days until Tuesday or Wednesday. Then we start to drop in winds from the north, Wednesday and Thursday. So quite cold, a few wintry showers. Friday and into the weekend, high pressure right over us. Frosty nights, chilly sunny days. And into next week, should I say the week after next, end of February, start of March, we could bring in an easterly wind, but the exact intensity of cold with the easterly is yet to be determined. It could be really quite mild with the wind from the Balkans, or really cold with the wind from Siberia. So it's there's a lot to keep an eye on, and it's also to do with the SSW as well into March. So very busy time for meteorologists. I'm not one, but obviously I'm doing the weather, so quite a busy time. Lots to keep an eye on. So I hope you enjoyed the video. And I'll be back tomorrow with another update on the stratosphere, as well as our usual update on the weather. But for this evening and for today, we're done. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.